What's up guys, macadii here, and today guys, a brand new Pokemon Showdown Live. But what we're going to be doing is having a go at laddering with a team submitted by AbdenRabz. So if you guys do enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like down below, I would really appreciate it. I had to move the Incineroar video a day earlier, it was meant to come out today, so I've had to record an extra video because of YouTube messing up. So any likes and shares on this video would be really appreciated. We've got a team which is basically a Pinsir plus Kyurem offense with a very scary core, defensive core of Celesteela and Hippowdon. We then got, and also Tapu Fini as well. And then we've also got Magnezone here. And Magnezone basically traps a lot of the steel types and things like that, which then stop Pinsir and Kyurem from sweeping, and then Kyurem and Pinsir basically go through and sweep the team from there. So I'm really excited to give this team a go and see how it goes from there. We're just going to make some adjustments, I think, on the HP. So we've got a specially defensive Celesteela with Heavy Slam, Flamethrower, Leech Seed, and Protect, basically designed to wear down teams with the Leech Seeds. And then what Heavy Slam hits a lot of things very hard because it's base 120 power with pretty much everything because of how heavy Celesteela is. And then Flamethrower allows you to hit all the steel types and the grass types and things like that Leech Seed don't work against. Then we've got a very standard Mega Pinsir with the Swords Dance, Frustration, Quick Attack, and Earthquake. Really nice set, especially paired with the Magnezone. I'm actually going to change that up. We're not going to go for an Adamant Nature, I think. These are more just personal things. I'm just going to have a go with Jolly, just because I prefer that extra. Being able to outspeed base 100s and fire frustrations is always fun. We've got Frustration on there as well, because if we're facing a Ditto and we're Swords Dancing up, we don't want it to then be Swords Dancing up and be able to fire off returns and kill us from there. Because they automatically Dittos normally come with 252 in happy, oh that's right, it's 255 in happiness, so that means their frustrations are going to be doing next to nothing to our team, which is very nice. Then we've got the Choice Specs Magnezone, which is basically designed to trap things like Ferrothorn, Skarmory, Celesteela, which is always great, and basically just take them out from there with a Thunderbolt. So yeah, that's really nice. We can also take on all the Scizors and stuff like that. So I'm really excited to give Magnezone a go, and I think it works really well on this team. Then we've got a mixed Hippowdon set, definitely an interesting one. I think imagine to take on Pheromosa a little bit better with those Ice Beams. Basically, it's the main check to Pheromosa alongside Celesteela with the Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Slack Off, and Whirlwind. Then we've got Tapu Fini, which had its HP taken away for some reason, but this is a physically defensive Tapu Fini, and between Celesteela, Hippowdon, and Tapu Fini, we've got a great defensive core with Surf, Taunt, Nature's Madness. Does he not get schooled? I'm interested to see, actually. He does not get schooled, okay. We're going to go for Surf, Taunt, Nature's Madness, which halves their HP on the Switch, it's not on the Switch, when they get hit by it, which is nice, and then Defog to be able to get rid of the rocks for both Pinsir and Kyurem. Then we've got a Choice Scarf Kyurem with Terravolt with Outrage, Ice Beam, Fusion Bolt, and Dragon Claw. So that's going to be hitting pretty much the entire tier like an absolute truck, which is really nice. And sort of nice mixed offense from there. So let's go give the team a go. We're going to call this Pinsir. Select the format to Pokemon OU, and let's see how it actually performs on the ladder. It looks like a really fun team. I'm a big fan of Mega Pinsir. My favourite ORAS OU team was built around Mega Pinsir Sand team, so I think it could have potential here. So we're going to say good luck, have fun, and see what we want to do from there. So he could be leading off here with the Cloyster. He could also lead off with the Greninja. Kartana, you're actually quite scary because we got Celesteela, so we should be fine. We'll also be able to check Tapu Koko as well with Hippowdon, so that's pretty sweet. So the question is, what do we really want to lead off with? We could lead off with a Kyurem, because we should be able to outspeed a +2 Cloyster from there, but I don't really want to take a Rock Blast and lose this straight away. So we could even lead off with the Magnezone, if we really want to. What do we want to do? Because I have a feeling he's going to be that guy and lead off with Cloyster. So, what do we want to do here? I think we're kind of forced to lead off with our Magnezone here just to stop the Cloyster from sweeping. Don't really like doing that, but there's not much we can really do. Out comes Kartana. Okay, that's fine by me. I think what we're actually going to do is we're going to fire off a Flash Cannon here. Does Kartana get Ground Move, actually? This is the thing I'm always a little bit worried about, is like, what does Kartana actually do? Do you get a Fighting move? Kartana. It's a scary Pokemon, I must admit, but I think its move pool is pretty terrible, if I remember rightly. Leaf Blades, it does get Sacred Sword, so I've got to watch out for that. So I think Celesteela is probably my best switch here, by the looks of things, just to guarantee that I don't get killed by it. He fires off a return. That's certainly interesting. Don't really know what to make of that. I am just going to fire out Leech Seeds. Actually, no, why is he is probably going to stay in. Or is he staying or is he going to switch? I think I'm just going to throw out Flamethrower just in case he does decide to stay in. Overall, it's just my best neutral player. It still hits the rest of his team sort of decently hard. And we'll just see what he decides to do from here. Certainly an interesting play on his part. He goes into the Greninja. We're not going to do much to that guy. But we get the burn, so that's very, very nice. I'm just going to go into my Tapu Fini. So I should be able to take this on fairly well. Especially if he's the Proteum, but we don't know exactly what he's going to be. He is the Proteum set. Okay, so we do take the Hydro Pump okay. It's not ideal. The burn is going to be really nice for us. I think we are just going to throw out... I mean, probably Nature's Madness is going to do probably more than Surf's going to do. So we're going to go for Nature's Madness. Half his HP. If he wants to attack us again, he's going to be losing more damage. He's going to go for Power Fire. Maybe predicting us to switch into something else. Predicting the Gunk Shot, but that's fine by me. That would have been really bad if I'd have clicked Surf. I'm just going to click Surf here. And hopefully we can just take out the Greninja from there. So that would be really nice. Power Fire Greninja is certainly interesting. We are going to have our Tapu Fini quite weak. And this is the only thing I dislike about Tapu Fini is it does get worn down quite considerably. Which is always a real shame. So let's see what he decides to go into from here. If he goes Kartana, I'm just going to go back into Celesteela. Landorus, I can't really afford to switch out. I am going to have to fire out a Surf there. Out comes the Kartana. I do really like Kartana's design, I must admit. Let's go back into Celesteela and see what he decides to do from there. He is very limited in what type of moves he can use, and Leaf Blade's going to do the square root of nothing, so that's great. What do we want to do here? I could just fire off a Heavy Slam, because I think that's still going to do a decent chunk to Kartana, because you've not got the best HP. And then if you want to switch into any of your Pokemon, you're going to be taking a whole load of damage. Oh, Lando, you're going to take a whole load. Yeah, okay, that's great. I'm actually going to stay in because I don't think there's much in terms of your move pool you can really do to take me on. Celesteela is such a top tier threat. Like, look, I just eat up. That's a Life Orb Focus Blast with sheer force. That's absolutely insane. I am going to have to try and tank one more hit, which I really don't like. I really, really don't like. I mean, we could protect here. There's no harm in protecting, just to get a little bit more HP back. And he may even miss this next Focus Blast. So that's going to be fine for us. So we might as well try. I'm just going to Heavy Slam here, just in case he wants to switch back out into something. He does miss. Okay, that's ideal. That's absolutely ideal. And we take out the Landorus from there. And we're going to get our Spadef boost. Woo! So that will help us versus Tapu Koko, and we'll kind of put him off going into Tapu Koko. Which would be really, really nice if he did. But I very much doubt he's going to. He probably will end up going back into Tapu Koko, because there's not much else that can take me on. Even the Cloyster's going to struggle. But we do have to be very careful with Cloyster. Cloyster, you're a real pain. Out comes the Cloyster. I have to actually calc this. Cloyster. We don't want that. Damage calc. No, we don't want that damage calc. Cloyster versus Celesteela. Okay, so Heavy Slam does not do enough to Turkio. So that's not fun. So what's our best bet here? Tapu Fini is not our best bet. You're 262 speed, so you go up to 500. Which Curum's not going to be able to outspeed you. Oh, goodness. This is actually a really big threat. Magnezone, you might have to be able to take one hit. I think we've kind of got to go for... we should be able to take one hit. We can take one set, but not if he sets up. I think we are just going to have to go for damage. And hope he's not White Herb. Oh, see, even with that drop, he's taking that on really well. So he is going to be really fast right now. So the question is, do we protect here to try and take one hit? Which I don't think we're going to be able to anyway. Or do we just go for the Heavy Slam? I think we just go for Heavy Slam here in case he wants to set up one more time. I don't think he's going to, but I think it's our best bet. And Celesteela, you might be able to live one. Maybe. Cloyster, you're always a bit of a scary guy, I must admit. So we'll see what he ends up doing. Magnezone might be able to take one. It depends on what his spread is, because if he's got the Razor Shell, how much does he do to Magnezone? Okay, so Magnezone might be able to take you on, so that's fine. Celesteela, you just got to come through. I don't see any way, yeah, because Icicle Spear I can take on. Razor Shell does not do much. We'll see what he decides to do. But I think we are safe. I think. We shall have to see, but I'm pretty sure at this point we are safe. So let's see what he ends up doing. That does a lot less to Cloyster than I was hoping. He's going to be... Yeah, he thought I was going to protect there. And there was no way I was going to do that. Okay, that's fantastic. We got rid of a huge threat to our team. And I think that's pretty much game. Because Celesteela just walls him from there. So let's go look for another battle and see what we can find. Liking the team so far. Celesteela is putting in the work. Dougie, I do not like you. I do not like Dougie at all. Mantine is also quite interesting. So what do we want to lead off with? Yeah, we just have to be very careful with that. Oh, Dougie, you're going to be a pain. We could lead off with the Gyurem, if we really wanted to. The trouble is we cannot click Fusion Bolt because of what's me G. But we can't even throw out Dragon Claw. So Kyurem, you're going to be a little bit limited this game. Celesteela is looking pretty sweet. So overall, I think we're going to lead Hippowdon. Hippowdon seems to have the best matchup. I match up against that, match up against Pheromosa. That I match up against Heatran really well. So that's great. I am just going to throw out my Stealth Rocks here. He's going to be very manly if he stays in. Very manly. I mean, he could. I wouldn't put it past him, but on the other hand, yeah, he is manly. Well, I'm just going to click Whirlwind here, because I'm expecting you to switch into your Mantine. I'm not going to let you defog. I'm going to let you wear yourself down from rocks. Out comes the Heatran. Now he's going to make a 50-50 decision. And I think he's going to stay... Nope, he does switch into Mantine. Ah, that's a shame. Okay, but that's fine. We've weakened the Mantine. And I'm happy with that. Let's go into our Tapu Fini, because we can actually wear this down with Nature's Madness. Oh, maybe because he's going to have the Water Absorb, think about it. So we won't actually be able to do as much. But we can taunt it right now, and we can stop the rocks. So that's going to be great. So let's just taunt here. And stop him from doing that. I'm surprised he went for Roost there, considering I could have just roared him out, Whirlwinded him out again, and sent him flying. So let's just throw out a taunt here, and see what he decides to do. Goes for Scald. Please don't burn me. Good boy. I am going to Nature's Madness here, because that means you're going to be in trouble if you decide to do anything. Heatran comes out. I can take you on, Heatran. I'm just going to throw out another Scald. You actually don't have the best switch-ins to Scald outside of Mantine, but I actually really do... Oh, a Surf. I really don't care if Mantine comes in. I shut Mantine down with my taunts, so that's fine by me. Even if I get burnt, I mean, we've got Leftovers recovery, so we should be okay. It does kind of just balance that out. Out comes the Mantine. You can play this game all you want. I really don't mind. You're not going to be able to get rid of these rocks. I'm not going to let you. I'm starting to understand Tapu Fini a little bit more now. Having Taunt and also Defog is really nice. But realistically, we are going to have to Defog away at some point, because otherwise Kyurem and also Mega Pinsir are going to be in trouble. Mega Pinsir looks pretty decent, actually. If we can get a Swords Dance up and we get rid of Tapu Koko, we're looking pretty fine. I must say, actually, we might not even need the Swords Dance. We'll probably still do a really decent chunk of damage to Mantine. While he's just having a look, let's have a look. So Mantine, you're physically defensive right now, versus, what's some call it, Pinsir. The Mega Set. Okay, so we do 60 to 71, so that's good. So we just need a little bit of prior damage. So a little bit of damage plus rocks will be pretty good, if we can. Weakening that Heatran is also really nice, because it means that he's not going to be able to set up rocks as reliably later on. Because most of my team smacks him fairly hard outside of a few different things. He goes for Scald, doesn't get the burn, fantastic. And now I'm just going to Nature's Madness you down from there. He's just saying, are you recording? Yeah, we are recording live. Let's see what he decides to do. Gonna Nature's Madness you, as you just throw out a Scald. That's fine by me. I'm just going to keep Nature Madnessing you until you go down till you're below rocks damage, basically. The taunt ends this turn. I am going to taunt you again. I don't need to really predict too much because I can always switch out and stuff, so I'm not that worried. He's going to keep fishing for that burn, but that's fine by me. Do I want to Nature's Madness this turn? Actually, that doesn't make a difference because he's still going to be able to switch in once anyway. So I can switch back out into something here. I don't really want to go Magnezone because then I'm just going to get trapped by Dougie. I hate Dougie at the minute. Dougie, you're a pain. Celesteela, I don't really want to get burnt. I don't really have the best switch into this Mantine. Unless I risk the Biscuit and I go into Kyurem. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of what I've got to do. I really don't want to do this. I really don't want to do this. Okay, good. Ice Beam should 2-hit KO a Mantine. Mantine. Non-invested. Against a Mantine. 26 to 31. Okay, so that's fine. I'm just going to click Ice Beam here, and we should... Oh, we don't 2-hit KO. Why do we not 2-hit KO? Don't taunt it. Oh, God. Now I've just lost all of my momentum. That's not what I wanted. I really didn't want that to happen. I should have just been clever and just clicked Dragon Claw, to be honest. Okay, we are going to have to switch out. Oh, this is irritating. This Mantine is going to be the bane of our lives. He's going to roost. And I think we're just going to go for... We are going to get rid of rocks, I think. Let's defog here. Out comes the Tapu Koko. That's fine by me. We're actually getting some progress here. I apologise for that very slow period. And let's just go into Hippo. And then we can throw up our rocks if we want to. Or we can even double out into something else. Goes to a Toxic. Oh, fair dues. I'm just going to throw out my Stealth Rocks here. As the Mantine comes out. This team... The trouble is the Dougie is the problem. Because if he traps my Magnezone, then that's just GG for Magnezone. And I really want to keep that around. I mean, do I? I don't want to risk it is the thing. Okay. I'm going to go into my Kyurem. I'm not expecting Sword straight off the bat. I'm expecting the defog here. He does defog. I'm just going to fire off a Dragon Claw. Oh, boy, Kyurem. I think I might change the spread on this guy to the more standard spread with the 252, just to let the Ice Beam hit a little bit harder. Because it doesn't make too much difference to your attack. And it means that you just hit that little bit harder. Out comes Dugtrio. That's fine by me. And we're going to kill that. That's great. Magnezone, you are in a much better position. Okay. Out comes the Tapu Koko. That's fine by me. I'm just going to go back into my Hippo. Oh, that's great, because I can trap the Heatran if I want. Maybe not. I mean, I could, but I don't think I'm going to be able to outspeed. But anyway, we basically get 3 Volt Switches on the Mantine, so that's fine. Out comes the Heatran. I am just going to throw my rocks back out, and then we will see from there. So let's just throw out my Stealth Rocks. Every time Mantine's out, I can actually go straight into Thingamajiggy. Ah, that's fair. Okay. I'm just going to EQ. Even if you want to go Mantine, I'm just going to go straight out. I couldn't risk going straight into Magnezone if he wants to go for like a Lava Plume or something like that. So let's just go back into our Magnezone, and let's just fire off a Specs Volt Switch. Because he actually doesn't have much to switch into a Specs Volt Switch now. Especially with Electric Terrain. And, actually, no, it might be running out next turn. So we'll just see. Because I shouldn't take too much from Scalds, I'm pretty sure. Out comes the Tapu Koko. That's fine by me. You shouldn't really be able to do too much to me. And I'm just going to get the slow Volt Switch off. Oh, something's taking a huge hit right now. Like a huge hit. Let's see what he decides to go into. Out comes the Heatran. You're going to be dead. Yeah. Okay, that's great. The Heatran's gone. Rocks are gone forever, so that's always really fun. We could go into Kyurem here. But then I don't really want to bait him going into Bisharp straight away. What do we want to go into? Pinsir wouldn't be the... Pinsir wouldn't be that great, actually. We need to save Pinsir. Pinsir's our best check to Pheromosa at the minute. We could go Celesteela just to bait in the this guy again, and then we can go back out into Hippowdon or something. Celesteela, actually, Celesteela's still pretty useful, actually. Let's go Tapu Fini. And let's see what he decides to do, because it kind of stops him from going into Mantine. He's kind of got to go into Tapu Koko here. Let's see what he decides to do. We're looking strong, though. We are looking strong. And as I said, Magnezone puts in the work. Every time that Mantine's out, we can go into Thingamajiggy. And he has to double then into Pheromosa to be able to beat us, which I don't expect him to be able to do. Out comes the Electric Surge. I'm just going to go back into Hippo. I don't see much need to do anything else. Goes to T-Bolt. Fantastic. I'm just going to set rocks up here. We need to bait this Mantine in every single time. So I know Mantine is probably going to come in, but it doesn't actually bother me that much, because now he's kind of forced to defog. And we can switch out. Hippowdon's still healthy enough to be able to take a hit from Pheromosa out, or the Bisharp, so we should be fine. I'm just going to go straight into Magnezone, and we're just going to click Volt Switch. Okay, just keep the pressure on, is the point. Keep rocks up, keep the pressure on, force him to go into Mantine. Out comes Pheromosa. He does pull the double that I thought he might have to pull. But that's fine by me. I think my best bet here... Let's see. What do we want to go into? He's only got one more turn of Electric Terrain left, which is a shame. Magnezone is my key to winning. Tapu Fini's pretty much back up to full and still takes on a lot of his team. I need Hippowdon for the electric community. What do I need to get rid of? Celesteela might be able to take 2 high jump kicks. I don't really know. I'd probably not, though. And he might even just U-turn, to be honest. Pheromosa. High jump kick. Yeah, he's going to kill us. I think... Do we sack off Celesteela? I think we may have to just sack it off, or at least risk it. Yeah, he's going to take way too much damage from that. But that's fine, because then we can go into our... whatchamacallit? Our Kyurem after this. And he's actually has got the throwing boost, so that's great. Because then we can just keep spamming Fusion Bolts. I'm just going to go for the Heavy Slam here. He does go for that high jump kick to take us out, but that's fine. Now what we can do is... I forgot about the Beast Boost. We can go into Pinsir. Now, how much does Pinsir do to... Pheromosa, if you're 252 with Ice Beam, how much do you do with Ice Beam? Okay, so Ice Beam doesn't do as much as I have to worry about. And then versus Tapu Koko, how much damage does a +2 quick attack do? Okay, quick attack does not do enough. I think I just Mega up here and I just fire for Frustration, just to see what he decides to do from there, because we do kill the Pheromosa guaranteed. We can take any hit from a Pheromosa, and he's forced out here if he wants to. So let's just use Frustration. Okay, we're going to kill the Mantine. That's really, really nice. We could even risk it if we wanted to, but I don't think it's worth the Swords Dance. I'm just going to Frustration, keep the pressure on. If we Swords Dance and then we got burnt, I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing, but we still can't kill the Tapu Koko, so it kind of renders it a bit pointless, especially when we want to keep Pinsir around. Yeah, I don't really see the point in that. So we're going to go for another Frustration, take out the Mantine from there. Out comes the Tapu Koko. Do we want to sack something off here, or do we actually want to go for the attack, is the question. Because Kyurem, you're looking a little bit weak. I don't want to go straight into Hippowdon, because Hippowdon basically gets a kill each time. And we can also just recover up. I think either that or... No, Tapu Fini still helps. I think we're actually going to be a bit controversial. We're going to sack off Kyurem. We might even take a Volt Switch. I don't know. I have no idea. Oh, we can take that. Yes. Okay, I'm taking that to the bank. I am going to fire off... I don't think an Ice Beam's the best bet. I think we're better off going for a Fusion Bolt just to guarantee get some damage off on this guy. In case he wants to go straight into... whatchamacallit? Bisharp. Because if we did that, we'd have been in trouble. So that's great. And I'm pretty sure Pinsir does just clean up here. So I can just go Magnezone and just fire off a Volt Switch. And then we can just basically sort him out from there. We could have also gone Hippowdon there and just recovered up. But I kind of like this play. Just because it puts the initiative on our side. Thunderbolt is going to do a chunk. Or a chunklet. And then we can go into... either Tapu Fini or Mega Pinsir. I think we're going to go Mega Pinsir. Because Mega Pinsir versus Bisharp. Doesn't do this. Okay, that's Mega Pinsir. Actually, with Quick Attack would have killed the thingamajiggy. Oh, that's a pain. Anyway, we're just going to EQ here. And that's going to be game. I looked at the wrong calc, so I think actually against Tapu what's it? Tapu Koko. We could have actually... yeah, we could have just sweat. Oh, no. We wouldn't have done. We wouldn't have been able to do enough. But anyway, how are we doing time-wise? I think what we're going to do is we are going to wrap up the session from here. I had a lot of fun with this team. I hope you guys did enjoy this. The team will be down in the description, so don't forget to give that a go if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, don't forget to leave a like. I would really appreciate it. And I will see you guys at the next one. Macadii out.